Hi, everybody. We're on the final week, and you're coming in off of a week vacation. I'm hoping you all took the time to catch up on your work and so you can get it in on time because I have to get my grades in early. So just know that I have to have my grades in by Tuesday. So make sure you get your discussion in and make sure you get your responses in. Your responses are equally as important. And your paper has to be in by Saturday at 11:59. So this week we're going to talk about medical and computer fraud. And actually, it's been kind of making the news lately. If you sit there and you look at it, people are saying, "Look at COVID. They're getting paid more for COVID." Well, there's a reason they're getting paid more for COVID, and what would that reason be? Well, first of all, for hospitals treating COVID now, they need all new kinds of equipment for that. They need all kinds of PPEs. Uh, they're paying their staff more, while others, where their money makers are, which are their elective surgeries, are not taking place. Those are not going on. So the hospitals are really hurting right about now, believe it or not. And so we look at coding and we look at what medical billing is and computer fraud. So I'll give you an example of one. I know that this week we have you looking at your discussion, looking at something that maybe you had yourself, or you could gather someone else, anybody you want. You could find somebody that would offer you to look, make sure that you take any information out of there that would show who it is, and ask about that billing. So I did that with my son when he had patella, he had his patella realignment. They took his kneecap actually out and put it back in. And one of the things they charged for was this thing that was a cooler, and it was called the Iceman. Now, the Iceman was nothing more than an igloo cooler that had water in it and a small little engine that pumped water through a tube that went around his knee. It probably cost about $75 to make total, using, but they charged, their billing charged, um, it was a rental, charged $1,800. And my insurance said, "We're not paying $1,800. That's on you." So my son's doctor said, "How did they charge you $1,800?" And we gave him the bill, and he was could not believe it. He said it was the coding that went in, it was the billing that went in, and this company was charging $1,800 for a little gallon igloo that had ice water in it that just pumped water around the knee. Since that time, and because that was a fairly new surgery at the time, it was kind of a weird surgery that he had. They now have it where you buy them. It's cheaper for them to purchase than you get those. And it's much, much cheaper. It's in the low hundreds versus, and you can actually buy them online, I think. But it was all about the coding and the way the coding went in. So what's coding and what is billing? Well, when you look at coding, coding is every single time somebody has a surgery or anytime they meet with their doctor, they have to put in what that coding is. What are they seeing you for? Are they seeing you for stitches? Did you get one stitch? Did you get five stitches? Did you get no stitches? What did you use for medical equipment? Everything has a code to it. So you have either your doctor, your nurse, or your coder that gets that medical information, puts it in, and then the insurance company takes that code and decides what you're going to get. The hospital will bill, or a doctor's office will bill, and they'll decide what you're going to get. If you miss one little thing on that coding, the hospital can be out a ton of money or it can be in a ton of money. It's very easy to manipulate. And how often do we look at those medical services? How often do we look at our bills? How often do we see that a Band-Aid may be $35? You know, uh, it's all in the coding and it's all in the billing. So you sit there and you say, how come it costs, in the thousands to go to the emergency room for a sore throat when you can go to your personal care physician and it'll cost you the copay? What's the difference? What's the difference between a $1,000 toothache and $1,000, dental appointment? Well, one, you're going to get the whole thing done, and the other one is they're going to look at it and say you have a toothache, and they'll give us $1,000. So coding and billing. I hope you look at that. I hope you find that really interesting, and I hope in the rest of your life you look at your billing and say, "Whoa." Now I work for a city that is self-insured. So what does that mean? So every time I go to the doctor, the Blue Cross Blue Shield will sit there and do the billing process, but my city will pay 100% of whatever the bill is. I pay for my insurance, and the city pays for the insurance, but we're 100% self-insured. That means that our city pays dollar for dollar whatever goes out. And that's actually beneficial. Now this year, prior to pandemic, our rates went down by 1%. That's unheard of. So I'm hoping you find that interesting. I hope you understand also that a lot of places what they've done is they've made it a high deductible versus a high, so now you're paying a high deductible versus paying, a lower bill. So now the second part of this week is we're going to talk about data driven. What are the percentage of people working in various industries actually commit white-collar crimes? So you have societal rules, institutional clauses, and organizational clauses. And when you look at those, you are free to use any of those. You can use all of them. You can use none of them. One of the ones that you might want to look at this is Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo had a atmosphere, that really perpetuated the thefts. And so I want you to look at that and see what happened with that. And if you need any help on that, let me know. I cannot stress enough to you that you need to get your papers in on time, but you can pick any of those. You can call me if you have any questions. It's a very easy thing to do. I will tell you, if you're ever looking for a way to look these things up, all you have to do is highlight them, right click them, and you can search that. And then all you have to do is put just add on to the end of that white collar crimes, and you'll find things. I hope that helps you. I hope that you all are doing well. And if you have any questions, call me. This is Sue Figge. I hope to see you in some of my classes in the future. Or for those of you graduating, thumbs up, congratulations, and best of luck to you. Bye-bye.